खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum et bienvenue à l'émission Cette semaine avec le Calife. Nous allons vous présenter les points forts des sessions de clôture des ijtémas des Waqf-e-Naw du Royaume-Uni qui se sont tenues le week-end dernier. Samedi, sa sainteté de Calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien, a prononcé le discours de clôture lors de l'ijtéma des Waqf-e-Naw du Royaume-Uni. Le week-end dernier, sa sainteté le 5e calife, qu'Allah soit son soutien, a honoré de sa présence les ijtémas des Waqf-e-Naw et des Waqf-e-Naw à la mosquée Beit Foutou à Londres, et il a prononcé le discours. Le samedi 29 avril s'est tenu l'ijtéma des Waqf-e-Naw et plus de 1100 membres ont assisté à l'événement. Le programme a débuté par une tilawa et un poème suivi du rapport sur l'ijtéma. Le calife a prononcé un discours sur l'importance d'accorder la priorité à la foi sur toute autre chose.
As Waqf-e-Naw, your absolute and unconditional priority must remain your faith and religion over all other things. And so today, I wish to briefly speak about what it actually means to give precedence to your faith. Once you comprehend what it means to prioritize and value your faith above all else, it will have a profound effect upon how you live your life. Certainly, at a time when the world is becoming increasingly godless, it is the principal duty of the members of the Waqf-e-Naw scheme to bring people back towards God and prove a means of spreading the true religion of Allah, the Almighty, all around the world. In order to achieve this, you must recognize your true value and status. You are the girls and women who have the potential to play outstanding role in bringing about a spiritual and moral revolution in the world, because you are the followers of the promised Messiah al-Islam, who came in accordance with the prophecies of the Holy Prophet of Islam, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As member of Waqf-e-Naw scheme, you must always protect and safeguard your prayers. Consider Salat to be your constant companion. It should not be that you delay or miss any prayers because of your worldly affairs or education. Do not be lazy or fall prey to weak excuses that take you away from Allah's worship. As Waqf-e-Naw, you have pledged your lives for the service of your faith, and so it is specially incumbent upon you to study the Quran and identify its various teachings. Every command of the Holy Quran is vitally important and must not be taken lightly. Apart from instructing us to worship Allah the Almighty, the Holy Quran contains many other instructions concerning self-reformation and fulfilling the rights of our fellow beings. For example, the Quran lays great emphasis on fulfilling the rights of one's parents, where it has established the rights of women and girls, it has also laid down their responsibilities. Allah the Almighty says that believing women should protect their chastity and modesty at all times and observe parda. A fundamental reason for this Quranic injunction is to safeguard and protect women from harassment by men and to ensure that no man dares to cast even an inappropriate glance in their direction or to have impure or ill thoughts towards them. Rather than restricting a woman, hijab is the means of liberating them from the gaze of men. It is true that in the non-Muslim world, the concept of parda and hijab has long been criticized. Yet now certain non-Muslims are actually calling for safeguards that mirror Islam's teachings. They are coming to realize the need for caution following reports of countless cases of men harassing and abusing women at all levels of society. Relatively recently, a survey found that 97% of women aged between the age of 18 and 24 in the UK had been harassed by men. Across all age ranges, 70% of women said they had faced sexual harassment in public. As a result, there have been calls to establish safe spaces for women or to have women-only events. Similarly, recently, a new report found that many women and girls in the UK were leaving sports and exercise because they felt uncomfortable and as though they were being sexualized by being forced to wear sports kits that expose much of their bodies. Thus, you should never harbor any form of inferiority complex or embarrassment regarding hijab or any other of Islam's teachings. Instead, you should feel pride in your religious beliefs and be confident in the expression of your faith. Guard your faith and seek to establish an everlasting living bond with Allah. Bow before Him in all humility and sincerely pray that you can effect a profound change in the world through tabligh and your righteous conduct.
तेरी मोहब्बत में मेरे प्यारे.
Le lendemain, dimanche 30 avril, s'est tenu l'Ijtima des Waqfenau et plus de 1500 Waqfenau ont assisté à l'événement. Le programme a débuté par une récitation de quelques versets du Saint-Coran, un poème, suivi du rapport sur l'Ijtima. Sa sainteté le calife a ensuite prononcé le discours principal sur le respect de l'engagement que les Waqfenau ont pris d'accorder la priorité à leur foi sur toute autre chose.
Most of you are no longer at an age of ignorance or immaturity, and so should be able to fully comprehend and grasp the gravity of the undertaking you have taken as member of Waqfenau. In general terms, if you make promise or pledge to any person, you must try your level best to fulfill it. Otherwise, you will be guilty of deceit and betray the other person's trust. As Waqf now, the pledge you have made is on a different level entirely, as it is not made with any person, but directly with Allah the Almighty in His service, and be ready for every sacrifice and hardship for His sake. I firmly believe that if every member of the Waqf Now scheme with purity of heart lives up to this pledge, then together you can bring forth a great spiritual revolution in the world and liberate society from the chains of moral decay in which it has become shackled. However, for this you will need the help and love of Allah, the Almighty. And to attain that, you must give precedence to Him over everything else. Always keep in view the extraordinary way in which Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam fulfilled his pledge. Similarly, you should look to the companions of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who displayed incredible levels of faith and devotion. They surrendered all personal desires and were ever ready to give their lives for the sake of their faith. Similarly, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad also showed exemplary standards of sacrifice. Amongst his followers were those who relinquished all material pursuits and worldly opportunities for the sake of their faith. They included exceptionally well-educated people who had gained bachelor's and master's degrees, which was extremely rare at that time, and for whom there was huge demand in society. Instead of seeking fame and fortune, they left behind everything and came into the service of the Prophet Muhammad. They devoted their lives to the service of Islam and fulfilled their pledges without a second thought for what they had left behind. So it is with this mindset that the Waqf-in-Aw and Waqf-e-Zindagis should seek to live their lives. If not, their claim of having devoted their lives will be hollow and not based on truth. Another important virtue that you must adopt is modesty. Do not be under the misconception that modesty is something only for women and girls to practice. Rather, it is essential for boys and men as well. In this society, indecency and vulgarity is visible almost everywhere. So when you are out in public, you should lower your gaze. Rather than looking curiously in every direction and towards those indecent things that are contrary to your faith. Similarly, avoid all immoral and obscene content on social media, television, or elsewhere. Exposure to such content is extremely harmful. It can easily corrupt one's mind and adversely affect your behavior. Many studies and media reports have proven that exposure to pornography or similar vulgar material is hugely damaging, both at an individual level and for the wider society. For example, studies have shown that viewing such content leads to disturbing attitudes amongst boys and men towards women and girls, and often to violence. Unquestionably, every Ahmadi must exhibit modesty, but there are even higher expectations and demands upon those who have dedicated their lives for the sake of Allah. Before concluding, I also wish to remind you that Prophet Messiah al-Islam has stated that his followers should seek to learn about the world and gain its insight. Accordingly, apart from religious studies, Waqfin must also strive to excel in their secular education. Always seek to increase your knowledge and do not waste time on trivial things. Consider how you can benefit humanity and advance human understanding. The Waqfin who enroll in Jamia Ahmadiyya should also, alongside their religious studies, try to increase their secular knowledge. It is vital for missionaries to have an understanding of what is happening in the world so they can relate to other people. Furthermore, those Waqfin studying or working externally, particularly in research, should endeavor to climb to the pinnacle of their respective fields of learning. If you excel in acquiring worldly and religious knowledge, you will have the intellectual armory to propagate the message and teachings of Allah the Almighty and defend Islam from those who seek to defame it. Furthermore, you will, inshallah, gain the ability to bring people towards the worship of the one God and under the banner of He who was the most honored of all mankind, the Holy Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May you be counted amongst the most faithful soldiers of the spiritual army of the Prophet Messiah al-Islam, whose mission is not to conquer lands or territories, but rather to win the hearts of mankind and to bring the people of all nations, races, and beliefs towards Allah the Almighty. May all of you, as Waqfin come to play an outstanding role in conveying the message of Islam and Ahmadiyya to every corner of the world. May Allah enable you to do so. Ameen.
C'était là les points forts des discours de clôture lors des ijtimas du week-end dernier. Nous terminons maintenant par le résumé du sermon du vendredi. Dans son dernier sermon du vendredi, le calife qu'Allah soit son soutien a évoqué le sujet des 3 niveaux de la bonté que sont la justice, la bienveillance et le traiter autrui comme on aurait traité un proche parent. À la fin, le calife a demandé des prières pour les musulmans Ahmadis du Pakistan.
पाकिस्तान के हालात के लिए भी दुआ करते रहें. हमने तो नेकियां फैलाने के लिए अपना काम करते चले जाना है और शैतानी फितरत लोगों ने अपने जुल्म जो उनका काम है वो दिखाते रहना है. तो हमारा तो इन शैतानों से इस शैतानी की हालत में मुकाबला कोई नहीं. हमें तो यही है कि अल्लाह ताला हुक्म पर चलने वाले हों. हमेशा ये दुआ भी करें कि अल्लाह ताला हमारे ईमानों को सलामत रखे और कभी हमारे ईमान मुतज़लज़ल ना हो. अल्लाह ताला से हमारा वो ताल्लुक़ पैदा हो जाए जो इताए ज़िल क़ुरबा का ताल्लुक़ है. फिर हम अल्लाह ताला के फ़ज़लों के नज़ारे भी पहले से बढ़कर देखेंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला. और जो दुश्मन हैं अल्लाह ताला की नज़र में और नाकाबिल इस्लाह हैं अल्लाह ताला की नज़र में, अल्लाह ताला उन्हें ख़ुद तबाह करे. और इंशाअल्लाह जब ऐसी सूरत होगी जब हमारा ताल्लुक़ अल्लाह ताला से होगा तो दुश्मन की तबाही के नज़ारे भी हम देखेंगे.